Greetings, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Kerbal Space Program Episode 13, which originally aired live on Twitch. So we have a very shallow entry, which is a little less violent than a ballistic sort of straight down entry, because you slow down more gradually. But it definitely uses up more ablator of your heat shields. But you don't run the risk of going kersplat. This is the way you're supposed to do, yeah. The heat that you see building up here is just my lights. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. Very heat resistant lights, though. One thing that you could do, much like a rotisserie, is if you have heat buildup, sometimes what's helpful, as odd as it sounds, is to rotate like this. And it sort of sets up your heat to be sort of equalized amongst the ship that is going hot. All right, and there we are. We're going to be landing in some random water in the middle of nowhere at, what is this? Dawn? I guess it is, I think. And we have our, let's set up my little landing lights. My, like, SOS, please don't forget about me lights. Way too shallow, and yeah, your heat shields have to do a lot of work. Way too steep, and you go kersplat. So you want to get something sort of equal. Heat shields are pretty OP, yes. Yes, indeed. They're very, very, very strong. It's a light show. Alright, taking a look at that poll. A Mun Rover is the leading choice. If you want to vote, go ahead and vote. The poll's only up for a little bit longer. If we set up a Mun Rover, what I would try to do is to try to find a base location on the moon. I suppose I could have you polled where we want to set up a base, but the most obvious choice would be the moon. Little Mun. You're happy that the lights line up with the parachutes? They actually don't. They are offset by... Oh, Jesus, we just time warped into the ocean. Okay, let's recover the vessel, and this should be good science. You've become a fan of the round pods with built-in ablator? I think they're ugly as hell, but yes, they are useful. And they can tumble and all that, yeah. Yep. I just think they're very ugly. And you can't really attach anything to them and have it not be hideous. So we were 69% of the way to KSC. And we now have over 1 million funds. Yeah, we definitely could go in the R&D tree a bit further. So let's see. Well, really, actually, I would say it actually depends on what you all want me to do. Squeak, thanks for the bits. Yeah, the that was not as close to the rescue that we had in the first stream. But yeah, that was closer than I'd want it to be. Gather surface. Deployed mystery goo observation science on the surface of Mun. Do I have to... Does this mission matter where I gather the goo? Because I'm already obviously gathering goo. So I'm going to try to accept that because I think it's a freebie. What else? Orbital station around the moon. Okay, so set up the rover has won. So given that set up the rover has won, I want to unlock rover parts. So I can't get advanced motors because I don't have the R&D up enough. The weather stations require an atmosphere, so that's not going to be helpful. The high-powered electrics is probably useful for the rover. So I will get that. What else would be good for rover? Do I have the... I probably already have the rover seat. Somewhere... Yep, alright. I already have the rover seat, so that's fine. A rocket-powered rover? No. No. I want this rover to actually do work. And let's also get precision engineering. The octagonal and cubic structs and the micronodes might be helpful. And then I think, not that I plan on doing aerodynamics, but I'm just going to get it because it's the lowest hanging fruit. And then also let's get actuators with my remaining science, because that gives me hinges and hydraulic cylinders, which could be useful for rovers. Again, I haven't built a rover in like a ridiculously long time, so I'm a little worried about that. But all right, let's go into the VAP. And what we're going to do now is to build a craft capable of actually deploying said rover, putting a rover on the moon. So the best way to do that is to build a lander. And I'm probably going to build a lander that looks dang near identical to the MK2 lander. So I'm just going to grab the MK2 here, strip this off, and I'm going to put the rover attached underneath the heat shield, so that when we land on the moon, we can just drop the rover onto the surface and drive around. What I'm going to need to do is to make this rocket taller. I don't need this coupling nose anymore. I can get rid of that. So I'm going to make the rocket a little bit taller so that the rover can has clearance. So I'll probably use the translation tubes here, tools here as well. Let me get rid of some of these. This strutting doesn't really make any sense anymore. So, move tools. Move the... No, I don't like the way that's doing that. I'll move them manually. Here. And I'll definitely have to reset up the asparagus staging and stuff like that. Before I do anything else, let's figure out... Let's pull these off. I'm actually going to throw these all out, so I don't have them just sticking around as ghosts. And let's set up a rover now underneath. Is this one going to get a new name? It is indeed. Let me... Once I have it a little bit more built, I will give the rover a name. And I'll give... Because the rover's going to stay on the moon. I'm not going to reattach it or anything. And then I'm going to give the rocket itself a name. So this rover part is from... I'm not going to be using these rovers, but this is from the mod that I have for modded rovers. But I'm not going to be doing those kind of rovers. So... Let me think here. I want it to be an unmanned rover. So a probe cord rover. So first things first, we want a decoupler. Or a stack separator, but I'm going to do... So the advantage of a stack separator is I can get rid of it, but it might just, like, land on top of my rover and then forever be a part of the attachment of the rover, which would be bad. Pet Tusk. Let me give her a ring. And let me update the project description. Design Mun Rover. Now, I want it probed. Hey girl, come here. I want it probe cord, but then I'll probably also have it... Oh, hi Echo. Why are you here? Echo, hop on up. Hi, hop on up. Well, you can see Echo's butt now. What is that? What? Oh, she knocked down the my green screen. Sweet. That's a bad girl. 1 second. The world's breaking, and I have to go repair it. If only I had a technical difficulties screen. All right, rover. Yes. What was I saying? So, Mr. Rover, we're going to want a surface scanning module, a medium scanning arm, better than the light scanning arm, I think. We are going to want... What else? Probably payload inside of it. Yeah, so I'll probably do it like this. I'll have it be a payload bay where I can shove some sciencey garbage in it. And then we will girder from there. And try to keep it as symmetrical as possible so that it doesn't go off center. Can I make large cargo bays? Yes, you can make large cargo bays like that. The trouble with the large cargo bays, the rover would be like vertical, and getting it out of the cargo bay and landing is tricky. So there's a lot of ways to set this up for like payloads. I can have it be payloaded in my rocket like that, but the problem is, of course, then it's like stuck as part of the payload. But I will set it up so that it is payloaded. I just want to design it first. Yeah, it will make more sense once it's built. And this thing is going to be very, very, very simple, as you can see. It's not going to have a lot of stuff on it. Not a lot of bells and whistles. What I might do is give it some microstruts or something, so it can. Well, it'll have brakes. I don't need microstruts. All right, let's see. What does it absolutely need? It needs a surface scanning module. So turn off the symmetry. And before we even stick that in, let's give it a lot of electrical. It's going to want solar panels and batteries galore. So in its little service bay, as you can see, I've basically filled it with batteries so that the thing doesn't die at night. I'll put the surface scanner on the trunk. This thing weighs how much? Science 0.005 tons. Yeah, okay, that's so insignificant. I'm not worried about its weight. The scanning arm will go on the front. If I could find the snap point. I want it to snap and not just like slap it on random. There it is. So there's the snap point. And it can scan everything within this range, which is pretty good. Okay, that thing weighs a little bit more, so I'm gonna give this thing a little oomph in its trunk. Another thing that I'm gonna want on this rover is communications, right? Because it's going to need to communicate back to Earth, and I need a direct communicatron, not a indirect one. So I will give this a big ol' antenna on the back so it can get science back to Kerbin. And if I can set it up so it doesn't look like it clips, that'd be good. Still looks like it clips. All right, what does that look like when it extends? Does it go into the ground? Yes, it does. We don't need a shovel. So let me retract that. No, don't reroute it. Can I cancel the route? Nope. Alright, so let's say the scanner goes up here, even though there's a lot of weight on that side already. And then this thing goes upside down. Nope. Rotate it like that. That is the exact opposite of what I meant to do. Select the part I want to rotate. Okay, well, it'll be a little weird that it's clipping inside, but it will function. Okay, scanning module goes back. There we go. And then we need power generation. We need it to have the ability to generate its own power. I will put some photovoltaics. Let's see what this looks like. Some photovoltaics wings on it, maybe? What's weird about if I put it wings like that is it will poke out of the service bay. Or alternatively, where is the stack separator? Yeah, I could hook it up to the stack separator, I suppose. No, I'll give it wings. I don't really care. Power coupler. Hey, Byron. Thanks for the gifted sub again. Even more of them. All right, I'll have static solar panels on the front, and then a deployable flower maybe on the rear. Except for these never retract, so that's the problem. Is once they're up forever. And I'm pretty sure they're going to clip into something and break. So, no. Let's not do that. Maybe better would be... Oh, Jesus, what are these? Oh, okay, so it's the portable flower, but, like, retractable? They're too big. I'll put a 3x2 on the front. That can pull like this. And these can, as you'll see, they can tilt to face the source of the sun to some degree or another. And then I'm sort of tempted to give it like giant solar wings when I want to charge quick on the sides. Would that be absurd? If I like give it like massive wings that I put out when it's stationary, I'll do that. I am going to need to protect this with a I'm going to need to protect this when yeah, I put that in shielding. All right, let's also hook up some more batteries. More power. So there we go. We got some Batman batteries. What else do we need on this thing? We don't need a fuel cell. What else do we want on this rover? So this rover can scan with the arm. It can surface scan for resources. So this thing here, this resource scanner, scans for ore, uranite, substrate, you know, all the sort of resources that you would need to figure out exactly where you should put your base, your colony. It needs a seat. I did say I wanted a seat, so let's get rid of this that there and stick the seat on so that it can be driven around by a Kerbal. So that would be in, I always forget where the seats are. Command? It would be in, it should be in command. Well, no, it should be in pods. Yep, here it is. External seat. And then it needs lights because it does get dark. So let's go to utility, and I'm going to set up some dome lights so that it lights up around it, like side to side, and then some headlights. Let's move the dome lights. Ew. All right, let's translate the dome lights up. Up. Okay, there we are. At this point, I'm going to start naming this thing. So, like, if you want it named after you, type something, because that's how you, and you got to be a sub. Restricted a little bit. Let's give it the Illuminer MK1s. How strong are these spotlights? Yeah, maybe instead of dome lights, I'm going to do spotlights. Let me do that. I am going to demo this here on Kerbin before I take it anywhere, obviously. So these take 1.2 electric charge per minute. These take 2.4. So the Illuminator's MK1s, I think, are more powerful. Or at least they're rated to be more powerful. So there's our headlights. I do want to tilt them in a little bit so we're not googly-eyed. Okay. And then these take 0.3, so I think these spotlights are a little bit stronger, so I will symmetrically hook spotlights up. I have no idea what weird shadows this thing is going to cast, but I am down to find out. This almost looks fairly anthropomorphized. Okay. And what are we naming it? This will be the Mr. Jones Mark 1. And the rover itself is going to have a different name. We also don't have a probe core on this rover, so open up the surface bay and what is my best probe core? I think I don't have any really advanced probe cores, so I'm going to stick a little Probobo-Dyne thingy in there. Just nest it. Close. Okay. Just point the lights at the... It doesn't work like that, but I can appreciate the pseudoscience of that. Just point the lights and... Yep. Alright, now what I want to do is... I guess actually these were okay. Now I want to set it up so that I can clear the sides. So we're going to go to structure and stick girders here so we can have a wide body rocket. That way it doesn't interrupt, doesn't clip, whatever you want to call it. Hey, we have one of our engines. All right, so yeah, you get the sort of idea. We land like this, and then we drop the rover. The rover only drops, you know, a meter or so. Would not be damaged by impact. And then I'm not doing any of the staging right now. This is just a proof of concept. Yeah, let's... Oh, weird. There's a seat on the back, so it went symmetrical. Let me not do that. Forget symmetry, please. There. Seat on one side. So the only other important thing for me to note is the... Oh, we even have reverse lights. No, I don't want that. I will probably put a spotlight in back, but I don't need it, like, for steering purposes. So, for back here, let me go to utility and do one little spotlight, kind of where this thing is. Like a little backup camera. All right, let's see how this works. Launch. Yeah, I don't really need eyes in the back. This ship is going to be huge. You know, I don't think it's going to be any larger than what launched the Words Station. Because the Words Station was also pretty big. It was actually probably heavier. The Byron, actually your rocket was probably going to be larger. The fairings of this rocket are going to be large, but not heavy. Is there a clearance to put the scanner underneath? I don't think so. So, all right, where is the stack separator? Let me set up my stage. It's this thing. Thunk. I could probably adjust the, oops, that's not what I meant to do. I could probably adjust the force that the stack separator separates. And we have our little rover. Yeah, all right. I'm probably going to get rid of that decoupler. I'll probably have it be a stack separator because that kind of looks weird. But let me make sure all the parts work. So here, it's already scanning the surface resources here. Right? Extending the antenna. It does not clip. Extend the solar panels. We're just making sure that, like, actually turning this thing on doesn't break anything. Turn on all the lights. As you can see, it's like a floodlight design where it illuminates in every direction. So if it was nighttime, we would have pretty good vision. What else am I missing here? So in terms of electric charge, yeah, no problem. Caw-caw, caw-caw. It really is like a bird. And it drives, as you can see, it's actually pretty lightweight. So on Mun's gravity, it's going to be a little... I have to take it a little slower. But it functions. I think all that would really benefit is a stack separator on top. Actually, I know how I'm going to set up the separators. But yeah, there we go. Let's see what this looks like at night. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have time warp while moving. Okay, maybe I shouldn't time warp at all, because it just blew up a tire for no reason. So in the night, as you can see, it casts enough light in every direction that we'll have pretty good vision of everything. Revert flight to assembly. Yeah, the time warp was just like, rip parts off! Yeah, it makes very little sense, and it bothers me deeply. Okay, the separators. No, not the heat shield. Okay, fine. Where? There we are. So what I want to do is a decoupler that drops this off, that separates from the craft, and then a identical decoupler flipped around like this, that then decouples. Oh, right, because that's attached. I'm gonna have to do some surgery here. So put a recharge pack, slap that back on, and then put the symmetrical panels on. And oh, I don't have Separatrons? No! All right, I guess we're not Separatroning, but this should still work. Except for I don't have a lot of physical clearance anymore, so I'm gonna have to lower these structures. Well, no, I don't really have to do that because we'll have landing legs. So let's save this again and make sure it separates the way we want to. So the stages is first it separates from up above, and I'm going to do a ejection force of 0. And then I'm going to have this one ejection force of max. So I don't like ejection the rover into the mud and like break wheels or anything like that. And then I'll be turning on the shroud. Yeah, I'll be shrouding it soon. Below first will be better. No, you'll understand why I'm doing this. It will make sense to you in a minute. Wouldn't I want solid tires instead of inflatable ones? Maybe. So the first ejection force puts the rover down like this. And then to get rid of all the garbage on the top, all I have to do is build up speed. Which I'll demonstrate in a second to get rid of the rest of the garbage. So build up a little speed. And bye-bye garbage. See? Voila! Free of garbage. And then we just have a rover with no extra doohickeys attached, and the decouplers are just yeeted. And of course, on the moon, that will yeet even better because there's lower gravity. Hey! Dem Tacos, I didn't even realize that you had raided me. I apologize. Welcome. Much belated shout out. And then yeah, here's my beautiful rover in its glory. It has so much electrical charge, but that's so that I can travel around at night and not have to worry. And big antenna, a big scanning arm, and a chair for Jebediah or whomever to control it. All right, I like it. It's functional, and it has the beautiful floodlights that I could change the colors of if I wanted to. We could have a bit of a rave party. Hold on, here we go. I can also change pitch angle, blink period. So if you've got epilepsy, like, look away, because this is gonna be weird. Oh yeah, I can aim these lights around. That's awesome. And rotation angles. DJ Rad in the house. I'm having a little bit too much fun. Arguably. Wee woo. There we go. Now it's a real party. All I need is a subwoofer. Wait, I could do it better. Yeah. Unce. Hey Yoda, how about you? Oh, you're okay. He's napping. Okay, it works. We've got a party bus. We got the Venga bus, and now we just need to get it to the moon. And now the Venga is stuck in my head. Good job, me. All right, let's try to shroud this. I have no idea if we're going to be able to payload shroud it because it's so big. So if you ignore the fact that some of this is clipping out the sides, it works. The only thing is the ejection force of the shrouds here. Let's do like a 6-sided shroud. Delete the fairings and build it again. That scanning arm is... The clipping of the scanning arm is bugging me. Does it bug you guys enough? Should I fix this and change it? That it clips a little bit less? It's fine, or it's not fine, I don't know. Why won't it let me... build? It's not letting me build right now. I think it's because it's like, yeah, you clipping. What's weird is... Okay, there we go. This is so weird. Look at the little tires. Just like, hello. Just popping out. Delete fairing. So if I wanted to fix the scanning arm, I could attach it like that, I guess. Well, I really have to attach it like this, so it doesn't hit anything. But then it's weird because then it's under the thing. I could try to fix this. Let's see. A scanning arm here won't be so hard to fairing with the fairing. I just have to raise the rover a bit, and then the seat we could drive from the back, or alternatively, which might be even more elegant. We could set up, set it up like this so that we have it, I mean, we could even jettison that part off. Yeah, that would make sense. So I'll keep a service shroud here that we plan on getting rid of. So instead of all of this, let's see. I'm going to change the order of a whole bunch. Actually, put that decoupler back. So this decoupler goes to the shroud. That then covers the rover. And then the rover will have I'll set up a high ejection force piece here that has the rover offset like this. So then I just need to lower the shroud a little bit. We still have a little bit of clippage back there, and I can fix that. And clippage on the front arm. But I think that's probably, if we don't want to clip awkwardly into the thing, that's probably our best approach. So let me delete this fairing and try to set this up so it doesn't... Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Let's try to set this up so it doesn't have any crazy clipping, and then we'll call it good. So the seat doesn't have a lot of space to go anywhere. The scanning arm. This scanner can go back like that. Oh, darn it. I keep clicking the wrong thing and it blows up the design. And then the... Ah! Want to click just that. There we go. And then this gets shoved. Okay, that's gonna look real weird. Oh, no, you know what? It's actually fine. Okay, there we have it. I think it's compact enough. The seat might still be in the way, but I think it's mostly compact enough that it will fit. A part of me wants to try to, like, nest the seat inside of something. Let's see if I can build the fairing now. No, I think it's... Yep, that scanning arm is still a problem. Even the communicatron on the back is technically a problem. Cancel the fairing! Okay, more adjustments. Drive from the back. That should work. All right, let's save that. Build the fairing again. Bada bing, bada boom, it works. All right, cool. Save. All right, these landing struts aren't big enough. What I could do is either lower these fuel tanks down to reach the landing struts, or no barking, dude. Yeah, no, it can't be these landing oh, I did that again. Can't put those landing stabilizers. And the wide legs, I don't think are gonna go low enough. Nope. All right, so let's lower the fuel down then. So instead of a full tank, we'll use a... Oh, that's fatter. Is this just oxidizer? Yeah, it's just liquid fuel. Forget that. Here. Nope, those are huge. This tank. There we go. All right, that will have no problem. Now, the only other worry is the ejection force of this fairing. Bumping the rockets itself. So we're gonna have to see if that's a problem. By ejecting those fairings here. I have it as an ejection force of like 0. So it should be okay. But let's go test that now. So, where's the fairing stage? Here it is. Save and launch. Right, buddy? It'll be worse on Mun because of low G. Yeah, well, ejection force of 0, and the fairing shells itself aren't too hard to drive through. I think it should be fine. Nope, it broke some stuff. No, maybe it didn't. Maybe that was just the... No, it broke the scanning arm. And the communicatron. Vehicle assembly. I think, alternatively, what we could do is drop the rover down and then eject the fairings once it's landed. With a... like a maybe a 4-sided fairing. So let's test that theory. For that, I need the swivels. Oh, come on. All right, and the set up like this. Save and launch. This is going to be real weird. Real weird. I hope my thrust to weight is, well, it should be enough. Definitely will be enough. I say that with certainty when I am uncertain. All right, so now the concept is to drop the rover. Just go away. And I don't want to hit Kerbal Space Center, so let me go significantly away so I don't break anything. What happens if I land on a building? I damage it. The thing is, I can always revert flight to ignore the damage. All I'm trying to do now is just get away from the rover, because when I land on the Mun, that's how I'm going to do it. I would drop the Mun pod off and then leave. But yeah, if you damage a building, you have to repair it. It gets very, very expensive, so it's not advised. Alright, so now the rover pod is still over there, ready to be clamshell deployed. We'll just land this hunk of junk. Done. Alright, rover pod. And, well, okay, you broke the communicator. You broke the everything. That was ejection force 0? Doubt. Hard doubt. And the wheel's broken. And what else broke? The seat's still intact. That was a heck of an eject. Ah! That was weird. So we have a rover, but it ain't gonna do much rovering. I mean, I guess technically it can still do surface scanning, which is what we really needed to do. Is it possible to carry the antenna and scanning arm as parts and just attach them? Probably. I haven't done much of that though. Let me see if that's possible. That's an interesting concept. So alternatively, let's. I'm going to build something temporarily as a proof of concept. So payload, service module. Oh, not a service module. We want cargo. So ejection force 0, and then ejection force maximum. This cargo storage is a bit too much. It's too much cargo. All right, let me try slightly less cargo. Maybe even one of these would work. Yeah, one of those would work. So the communicatron. Nope, too big. I mean, that makes sense because the communicatron's massive. Nope. Wow. Okay, never mind. The giant container that I had previously is exactly the one I need. And then we want the medium scanning arm. The thing about this is, well, we'll see. We will see. Save launch. Oh, I wouldn't be able to store the rover as cargo. Way too big. Alternatively, what I could do is just launch it and try not to accelerate so fast while I'm in atmosphere that the drag on the rover would damage anything, because I think that's actually might even be an easier solution. All right, so let's decouple this. Switch to the rover. Drive on out of here. Slam the brakes. Switch back to Le Jeb. Oh, it shouldn't be Jeb though. Let me do that with an engineer, because Jeb can't build stuff, I don't think. Bill. Actually, Bill, just be on the external command seat. That'll make it easy. He'll be right where he needs to be. I could technically, when I land, set it up that way. Have him be at the command seat, ready to just be like thunked onto the surface of the Mun. Yeah, I don't want to overheat the antenna or instruments. I'll probably set up some thermal radiator stuff. We'll see. All right, so decouple. Switch. Now Jeb is driving around. I'm a little worried about his getting slightly decapitated when I get rid of the this here. So it's too massive for him to carry. So let's back up. Have him not get decapitated. Oh, I don't want to back up a hill, though. Nope, I still couldn't get rid of it. Yep. As planned. All right, let's try that again. That was great. Just smash. I think the way to do this would be to have separatrons to be able to separate the stages, but whatever. I ain't got one of them. So let's instead, can he reach that? I don't really know how to do in situ building though. I think that's the problem, is like, I think this is a fair solution. I'm just not sure how it works in practice. I would need a kit. Yeah. Well, all right. Let me go back to the vehicle assembly and see if I can't kit it up. It's funny. My UIs are like freaking out. My polling software is blowing up on me. All right. So we have repair kits. And let's see if that works. Yeah, I will be doing this with minimal G. That's true. That does change the equation, but I can't simulate Mun gravity while setting this up. I don't want to do the mission and only have it fail once I land, so I'm trying to make it and build it more rigorous so that that possibility doesn't happen to me, because that would suck. Get all the way there and then just have it explode. Okay, so we have the cargo kit. Yeah, I'm really not sure how this... I think my original plan would work better than this, if I'm being honest. I know I was reading through the tutorial for this mod specifically, and how there can be team lifts. But since these cargo parts exceed the capacity of his entire backpack, I'm not really sure how this even works. Because it's a size issue, it's not a weight issue at this point. So the other idea I had was to launch it with no shrouding and just to manage my thrust to weight ratio so that it never really becomes an issue. I think is possibly an alternative solution. So that would look like this. Really, it all depends on the amount of drag exerted. And I want it as little wide-bodied as possible. So I'm gonna see if it's possible to have it be a little closer like this. It clips a little bit. So I'll just hit undo. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm guessing we're going wide like this. That's fine. Does it fit in a vertical fairing? I honestly don't even think we need to do vertical fare for it. So I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's necessary. So let's put the Terrier engines on. And then we will have the landing struts. I actually like the wide landing legs more. Definitely some added stability. All right, I think we're going to lower those landing legs a little bit so they're no risk to the engines. Go as low as they can go. Okay. It's hideous, but it should work. We don't need these lights anymore, nor do we really need landing lights. I always land during the day. What else don't we need? All the experimentation stuff we can leave on. Let's do some physical strutting. Actually, give me 4 symmetry. That'll be better. And for stability, because this thing is topsy-turvy, I'm going to strut the sides as well, so we don't have rocket wobble. I still need to set up asparagus staging. So the... Okay. Setting up those stage. So the asparagus staging we'll do now. So these go first, feeds to this. Done. They retract. Thank you for watching Kerbal Space Program, that originally aired live on Twitch. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my countdown timers and links to Twitch, and also links to Discord, where you can sign up for Twitch announcements. If you like Kerbal Space Program, it comes up to vote on whether or not I play it about every 2 weeks. So if you're looking for the links to the polls, Rhadamant.com or the announcements section of Discord is the place to find those links. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next episode, or perhaps an upcoming stream. Farewell.